Today's topic is bullying and how can a child effectively stop themselves from being bullied at school. Quite often I have parents come to me and say, Alex, you're the black belt instructor, the British champion. Can you give advice to my daughter or my son about how they can stop themselves from being bullied? And I say, of course I can. I've had so far that all I know about 100% success rate on this issue. So what I do is I bring the parents into the office, I sit them down, I want to hear their interpretation of what's happening to the child. And then I tell them my approach, and if we've got the consent, I bring the child in. My tactic is this: I want the child to see bullying as a challenge and them not to see themselves as a victim. They don't see themselves as a victim in the dojo, especially when they're going for their gradings and they're doing their challenges, learning new techniques. So I don't want them to see themselves as a victim in a bullying in this environment too. So before I start, I need to work out, is it mental or is it physical? The level of bullying, and I grade it from 1 to 10. So 10 is severe anxiety, severe depression, and it's got to come to an end right now. And then if it's a 10, then I can't help because it has to go to the highest authority possible and it has to end immediately. It's very serious. If it's a 1, it's like a mild annoyance. And if it's like under a 5 or 6, yeah, I can pretty much help out there. Now, before we start, I need to find out the environment that it's in. So is it happening in the classroom? Is it happening in break time or to and from school? Next thing I need to find out is who's the controller of the environment. All the time it's a teacher. What steps have been, who is doing the bullying, what peer groups they're in, and what steps they have taken to end the bullying themselves. And that's it. And usually from there, I get a good idea of the bullying picture and how and when it's coming. Now, the first thing that we do to stop the bullying is tell the teacher. And I find most of the time the teacher has not been told at all or not properly. Now, teachers don't want bullying in their environment. They would want to stop it as soon as possible. So what's usually happened is the child hasn't really told the teacher properly or explained it properly. And maybe the teacher is thinking the child is bullying themselves. So it's a bit of miscommunication, a communication breakdown. And you can't blame the teachers because they've got so much to do, a lot of children to look after, and they've got a lot of things to do. So they may not be aware that the child is experiencing bullying. So we train the child to communicate effectively to the teacher. So they'll say to the teacher, "Excuse me, ma'am, excuse me, sir, can I have a moment of your time to talk about a bullying situation that's happening to me?" Straight away, I find the teacher will go, "Yes, you can." Then the child will go, "I'm experiencing mental or physical bullying. It's happening by this person or these people in this environment at this time, usually. And these are the steps I've taken. What's the plan to bring this to an end?" And I always find the teachers go, "Yep, this is the plan." And that's where the bullying ends, normally, through effective communication. Here's some additional tips as well, is that I want the child to see it as a challenge so that they no longer would they see themselves as a victim, because I don't think seeing themselves as a victim is going to help them. If they see it as a challenge, like a challenge that I have in the dojo, and they have options and they can manage this challenge and they've got a way out, they'll feel empowered. And when they beat this challenge, they're going to feel even more empowered, because bullying at school, in my opinion, is a prelim for what can happen later on in life. Now, for some people, bullying can happen as adults in the workplace. So if the child can overcome bullying now, they can take this empowering reference throughout life, and I want them to do that. A key tactic that I want the child to do is, usually I find a key thing, reason why the child is getting bullied, because they're isolated. They're in the wrong peer group, they're in the wrong environments at the wrong time, or they just don't, they've gone to a new school and they haven't got enough friends. So bullies find it very hard to bully more than one person at once. So if the child's got lots of friends around them and good friends around them, it's quite hard for the bully to do that. So we work on the people skills, how to win and make friends. Or sometimes as well, the bully actually wants to be friends with the person they're bullying with. It's just a weird way that they're trying to make friends. So I get the the student to understand why the bully might be bullying, and to build in forgiveness to the bully, because the bully might be going through a hard time. The bully might is learning life lessons as much as the child is as well. So they're making mistakes. And I 10 years on, so I've been bullied myself, and 10 years on, after I've left school, I've met the bully who physically bullied me. And obviously I could physically bully them then, but I chose not to. And the bully themselves has felt regret, felt remorse, and was sorry for what they'd done, and had become a great person. So that person had grown into a great person. They'd made mistakes. So I would explain that to the child and say, look, the person that's bullying you will probably regret this later on. So build in forgiveness there too. I teach them body language as well, how to look more confident, how to respect space, and some defense skills. We don't want the child to attack. It's defense skills like footwork, blocking, the areas, and if it comes down to that. But I expect that violence wouldn't come down to it if the right precautions have been taken. And we don't want violence to happen at all. It's not what we want to be hearing about, is children attacking each other. Very serious that we don't hear that. So all the right precautions must be taken. Environment in the peer groups. So maybe the child is hanging around the wrong peer groups. Maybe they can get into more hobbies or different clubs and things like that to make better friends if it's the friends that are bullying them in the first place. The environment, can they change their environment? Do they have to be hanging around a certain place, or can they change where they're sitting? All these things. So once they've got a clear plan, they should feel empowered. They've got options. They've notified the control of the environment, which is a teacher. The teacher will always get involved and stop that situation. And tactics like making friends and using their people skills and giving them a reference, which is this. I always say to them, you've got great friends in the dojo. Lots of people respect you here. You're going to use those same skills outside the dojo. You're going to make friends, and you're going to gain and give respect to those outside it. And I find that always works. Thank you.